Okay, here's some homework help for practice worksheet lesson 6-1, the explicit formula for arithmetic sequences. Okay, now they're giving us the formula, and I also want you to know the formula could be written in another way. I personally like this way more. I think it's friendlier, but this other way is the exact same thing, and you should learn to recognize both. They have the same ingredients, just switched around a little bit. Okay, so in both of those equations, we have some key ingredients here. And what we have are the a of 1 value. That's just the first term in your list, the first number in the list. Or to be more mathy, the first term in your sequence. Okay, these are called sequences. All right, so that's what the A1 value is. This D value is something we just learned, a new vocabulary term, and that is the common difference. And that's just a fancy way of saying the number that we're adding or subtracting each time to get to the next number in the sequence. That's all it is. And it's got to be the same number every time, or else it's not an arithmetic sequence. That's why they call it common. It's the same number every time. This n minus 1 is actually part of your pattern rule. So you just copy down n minus 1 in your pattern rule. So that's taking care of that. And this a of n is just a mathy way of saying the number you're looking for. Or, to be more mathy, the term in the sequence that you're looking for. All right, so you'll get an idea more of this when we do some on the video. Let's take a look at number 1. You have a list of numbers, -1, 8, 17, 26. I think the surefire way is to just go in the calculator and find the differences between the numbers, working backwards, right? 26 back to that way. So let's do that so we can see for sure whether it is or is not a sequence. I'm going to do 26 minus 17. I'm finding the difference between those numbers. It's 9. Now 17 minus 8. It's 9. And now 8 minus -1. I want to emphasize you have to check all of them, because if at any time it's not the same number, then it's not an arithmetic sequence. All right? As we see, it's always 9. When we go forward, we're adding 9 each time to get to the next number. That means our common difference is 9. You could say D equals 9. And we can go further, and now we can go ahead and come up with the entire arithmetic sequence equation. Okay, here it is. A of n, meaning whatever number in the list you're looking for, okay, is equal to a of 1, which is just the first number in your list, which is given to us right there, -1. Okay, and you can write it either way. If you want to do the top version, that's fine. The bottom version, that's fine too. Okay, I want you to get used to both. Okay, and it's a of 1 plus, and I'm just copy this part down, n minus 1 times the common difference D. What is our common difference that we found? It's 9. So times 9. That's the equation. If I were to pick out and maybe find, for example, the 20th number in my list, I would do 20 minus 1 is 19. Then I would multiply that by 9, and then I would add -1 to it, or subtract 1 from it, whichever way you want to look at that. And that's it. Okay, let's do number 3. Number 3, let me fold this over so we can maybe see it a little better. Number 3, we have a little bit of decimal stuff going on here, but I'm going to do the same approach. I'm just going to dock B to delete my old stuff. I'm going to start with my new stuff. -0.5, or -0.5 minus 2. That I get -2.5. And now I do 2 minus 4.5. I get -2.5 again. And now 4.5 minus 7. I get -2.5 a third time. So I'm good. I know this is an arithmetic sequence because it has a common difference, and that common difference is negative 2.5. All right? I'm going to open my paper again, zoom out a little bit, so we can look at this again. This time I'm going to write it the other way. It's the same pattern. It's probably good to get used to both because you don't know what they're going to present to you. So now I'll use the top one. A of n, which means the number I'm looking for, is equal to the common difference, which is negative 2.5 in this case, times n minus 1, which I just copy straight from my formula, plus a of 1, which is the first number in my list, and that is 7. Done. That's my pattern rule. If I needed to find the 88th number in that list, I would put 88 right here, because it'd be a of 88. I put 88 right here. Minus 1 would be 87. Multiply 87 times this number, and then add that answer to 7, and I get the 88th number in that list. That's how it works. Let's do number 5. We have, let's go back to the calculator, just to be consistent. 16 minus 8 gives me 8. 8 minus 4 gives me a different number. I stop right there. It is not an arithmetic sequence. I'm done with number 5. Okay? Number 7, explain how you know when a sequence has a common difference. When, basically, when you subtract a term and the term before it, I think a better way would be when you find the difference between a term. So I'm going to say when you find the difference between a term means just a number in the list, and the term before it, and you do that for all terms in the list, you do that for all numbers in the list. Start here, take away the number before it, get an answer. Start here, take away the number before it, get an answer. Do that for all terms in the list. You should get the same number every time. I did not get A's in penmanship, if you can tell. How can you identify an arithmetic sequence? Well, it has a common difference. That's the number one thing. It has a common difference. You're adding or subtracting the same number every time to go from one number to another. So you are adding or subtracting the same number every time to go from one term to another. Let's do number 9. Oh, number 8's an even one. I gave you an even one as a bonus. Identify the missing term in each sequence using subnotation. Subnotation is not that big a deal. If I want the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th term in the list, I call that A of 5. That is subnotation. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. From 4 to 7, I'm taking away 3, right? Well, when I do 4 minus 7, I get negative 3, in other words. 7 minus 10, I get negative 3 again. 10 minus 13, I get negative 3. So what that means is when I go this way and forward, I'm taking away 3 each time. So to get my 5th term, 4 minus 3 is 1. So A of 5 equals 1. All right? Let's go to the back. Number 11. Gregory is selling his artwork at a local farmer's market. His first sale profited him $20. All right? Thereafter, he makes $12 profit from each art piece sold. Okay, so it looks like there's a list we could write. but let's just ask, let's see what they're asking us. They want an explicit formula to represent the total profit of his sales as an arithmetic sequence. All right? Well, what is explicit formula? That's what we're learning, this explicit formula. You can do any version you want, okay? This time I'm going to go ahead and do this version. A of n equals d times the quantity n minus 1 plus a of 1. So a of n equals d times n minus 1 plus a of 1. Okay? So first of all, do we have a list to work with? We do have a list to work with. His first sale profited 20 bucks. That's the first number in my list. And he's making $12 profit after that. That actually is my common difference. So I start with 20 plus 12. My next number would be 32. Plus 12. My next number would be 44, and so on. So there is a list there, but we don't really need to make a long list. We have what we need. We understand our a of 1 value is 20, and we understand our common difference is 12, because that's how much it's going up each time. That's all we need. We plug those into here, and we have the explicit formula. Okay, so a of n equals the common difference of 12 times n minus 1, which just means whatever number you're looking for, then take 1 away from it, plus a of 1, the first number in the list, which happens to be 20. That is my equation. You can use that equation to answer number 12. You would plug in 8 right here, do the math, and you have the answer. Number 13. Write the explicit formula for the nth term of each arithmetic sequence, and then find the 6th term of each sequence. So let's do that for the odds. All right, let's get the explicit formula going. Again, I'm going to write the pattern. A of n is equal to d times n minus 1 plus a of 1. All right. So my first number in my list is 9. That's going to go over here at the end. My common difference, let's see. Let's go ahead and find it. 30 minus 23. 30 minus 23, 7. 23 minus 16, 7. 16 minus 9, 7. My common difference is 7. So my equation is a of n equals 7 times n minus 1 plus 9. Now to get the 6th term, I put a 6 right here. What's 6 minus 1? It's 5. What is 7 times 5? It's 35. And what's 35 plus 9? It's 44. That is the 6th term in that list. Number 15 is a little weird. They don't even give you a list. But you know what? It's even easier because they give you the exact numbers you need. They give you the first term, they give you the common difference. So let's go ahead and do it. The common difference, right, is 5 times the n minus 1 plus the first term, which is 3. So that's my explicit equation. A of n equals 5 times the quantity n minus 1 plus 3. Now let's plug in 6 right here. 6 minus 1 is 5. So we're going to have 5 times 5. Well, 5 times 5 is 25, plus 3 is 28. All right? One more and we're done. The video went long, but then again, I am doing a lot of homework with you together, right? Matthew is given a $25 music gift card for his birthday. He downloads one song, and the value of the gift card is $23.50. After 2 downloads, its value is 22. Let's go ahead and write that as a list. Okay? He starts at 25 bucks. He downloads a song, and now it's $23.50. Okay? After 2 downloads, it's 22. All right. So let's see what's happening each time. We have 22 minus 23.50. Remember, we always go backwards. It's negative 1.5 or negative $1.50 basically. So when you go forwards, it looks like you're going down $1.50. All right. Now let's do 23.50 or 23.5 minus 25. We're getting the same thing. Okay, so we know our common difference is negative 150, $1.50. All right. So the explicit formula, we know our first term. Okay, it is 25. So we have, I'm going to go ahead and write our pattern. A of n is equal to d times n minus 1 plus a of 1. All right? So we have the common difference of negative 150. We have n minus 1 and the a of 1, 25. All right? Now I'm gonna check on something after I do this video, and if there's something off about this, if something just came to me, I will get back to you in class. I'm gonna check something. I'm gonna go and solve it this way. Let's go ahead and do the math here. Oh no, we don't have any math to do. This is the formula. You will do the math to figure out what is on the gift card after 10 downloads using that formula. Okay? Good luck, and I'll see you in class.